All righty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Dream and Vision Notebook. I definitely wanted to come on and share a couple of tidbits, tips on husbands, the topic of husbands, because a lot of people have dreams with husbands are involved. That's whether you're familiar with a person or not. That's whether that's a person of the past, an ex-spouse, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, um, men basically in the dreams. And so I really want to kind of go over some reasons why we may see them in our dreams. Okay. And so let's just tackle the bad, I guess, first. And so, one of the reasons why, say for instance, you had an ex spouse or ex boyfriend, and here it is, you have moved on from that relationship. One of the reasons why you can see this in your dreams is because there is some type of residue or condition that is still as a result of that relationship. Okay. It can also be a situation where what brought you into that relationship or what connected you to that relationship is still an issue or still a problem. So, say for instance, I had, you know, just I had a vulnerability, in a certain to a certain degree in my life. And here it is, even though he's gone, he's passed, and even though time has passed, and maybe say I've even matured, but that doesn't mean that area of my life has been made whole. That doesn't mean that area of my life is no longer void. It could just mean I'm older. It's a different situation, a different person. So many times, um, God, because He's the giver of dreams, especially when He's trying to get a hold of our attention, is trying to share with us, maybe say our status or our condition. Okay, and so also God can reveal these things because maybe say you're in a new relationship, or maybe you're and it doesn't have to be um a an intimate relationship. God can show you through a person in your dream the conduct or the character of another person, the conduct or the character of who's behind the scenes. So say for instance, I had there in my dream there was an ex-boyfriend, but in the dream I am looking at my boss or I'm looking at a coworker. Then God can be showing me through the person that I do know the nature, or the agenda, whether it's hidden or whether it's in the forefront of the person that I don't know. Okay. And so God could be revealing some things because God wants us to be aware and be vigilant. How are you going to make it out of some situations if you're not aware of what you're coming against or what is coming against you? What would cause harm to your life. And so God is very serious about His commitment to us and making sure that we are able to be in right standing as we walk out these life experiences in these situations. Sometimes it can represent a plague. Okay. So say for instance, you have in your dream an ex-spouse or an ex-husband, and that person, the person that you're with currently, or the situation that you're with currently, is changed. It's a new situation. But it seems like it's a repeat of the past. It's a repeat of what I've been through before. And so sometimes a life, God can be revealing a life is plagued, and that there is some sin or a door open or access or a gate open to our lives, that God is saying you need to correct this, or you need to get this in right standing and right order with me, so that this door that's open to your life can close, so that you will not continue to see a repeat of your past, which was not maybe say good. Okay. And so sometimes God is showing us areas that we are plagued in, and those relationships is just one of the ways that we can be plagued. And so because of the spiritual things. So in other words, many times it's a spiritual condition that God is trying to reveal. So it means it's not necessarily visible, or something that or understand or recognize with your own analytical ability or with your physical eye. Things that are spiritual conditions mean that you must deal with them spiritually. Okay. And so the Bible talks about how the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they're mighty. Mighty, or what? They are spiritual through God. Okay. And so they're not something that you can fight with hands, fight with, okay, well, I'll just leave the situation. I'll just move. I'll just give me another job. No, when you get to your next job, you'll find the same situation. It's the same situation, different people, different place. New job, new place, same situation. Okay. New job, new place, old situation, coming into the new situation because no one has closed the door. Okay. No one has shut down the tactic. And so you can comment, feel free to comment, feel free to put a notation as to whether or not you maybe say recognize some of these things, and maybe I can answer you or even give you further information if you wanted to go further in depth with that. All righty. And so one of the things that God can also do, I think that's pretty much covers the bad. I want to talk about the good things that a husband in a dream can represent. And so, say for instance, you're not married. There's a husband in the dream. God can show you a husband because he is showing you, maybe say, a cultivation or cultivating of purpose on your life. Okay. So, husband is symbolic of, or husbandman. If you take the word husband and you put man at the end of it, it's husbandman. And that means cultivation. Okay. So God can use a husband in a dream in order to show you what he is trying to fulfill, complete, finish, do in your life, cultivate, make greater, push you into, maybe say, areas of success, areas of victory, areas of accomplishment, um, levels of success, degrees of success. And so God can show you a husband. He can show you situations where that person in the dream is, maybe say, um, treating you in a manner in which you can cross that hurdle, you can get over or overcome, whatever the situation is. Maybe there's something in the dream that's stopping you, or it keeps coming up. It could be within you, it could be outside of you, or it could be both. Okay. And so I'll give you an example. So a friend of mine had a dream where in the dream, she had met at this couple's house because she was going to do a married couple. She was going to do a really big project with them. And this is in the dream. And so in coming in contact with the spouse or the wife of the husband, um, she just really had a bad vibe, and she was really just in a just not in a good place. And so she began to ball up and tear up the guest list. And my friend that had came, she was like, "What are you doing? That's what we need in order for this to go through. How can you tear up the guest list, the people that we're going to help, the very people that we're looking to come in contact with, And she was like, F this. And so my friend got upset and she cussed back. And she was like, and then I believe she took back a hold of the papers that were balled up. And so the spouse or the wife, she said, well, I'm just gonna go take a shower. I'm just gonna go take a bath. And my friend was like, yeah, and I hope you wash that stank nasty attitude off of you while you're in there, you know. Because she was like, good, go take a shower, and then that's when she said, go wash the attitude as well. And so anyhow, when she went to kind of turn back to the situation at hand with the balled up paper and the guest list, and just kind of turn back to the situation in which she came there for, which was to have to be a part of a major part of the force behind, the legs behind, the mastermind behind getting all this stuff together. Um, once she turned her head back to this, then the husband was there. And of course he was comforting, and he was very empathetic, in understanding what she had just dealt with. He understood it. And so he began to, just encourage her and say, I really, really need you to help me, to help us to get this, to get this done. And she was like, I don't know, because that had really set her off, that had really, shifted some things in her heart concerning being willing and joyful, of course, to do the project, to finish it. He was like, I really need you to think about it. I really need you to, we really can't do this without you. Basically, that's what he was saying. We cannot do this without you being involved because of who you are. And she knew that this was a big thing. She knew that this was a big deal. That's why she responded the way she did. And so anyhow, So in interpreting that, really what God was showing her was her. Okay. What God was showing her was her through the woman, or through the wife, the spouse. And that's so God, because God um calls and carries himself what as the husband, or the groom, okay, or the husbandman. And he's married to us. The word talks about how he's married even to the backslider, okay. And so he showed that situation through the relationship of a marriage, okay. And so with that being said, God was showing my friend what has been happening in her life to stop her purpose, what keeps coming up to stop her purpose. Okay. So when somebody else maybe say, initiates, a bad attitude, or throws a, a ring in it, however they say that, a wrench in the situation and what was good, then what happened was she responded. Okay. Or she reacted. Okay. And whenever we are in these situations, like that, if we respond wrong, then what happens is it did just what it does its job. It caused her to pull back from fulfilling the assignment, fulfilling the desire of God. And so it basically pushed her out of her purpose, because now it had her so down and distraught that it's like, I don't know if this is worth it. And that's what the husband was trying to say. Well, we really need you. We really still need to go forward with this. Yes, it's worth it. This is your destiny. This is your destiny. And God realizes that. That's why the husband was so comforting. God is comforting to us. He understands what we're going through. He understands what we're dealing with and what's coming up against us. But he still needs us to respond. He still needs us to have a godly and a right response, and a yes. And a yes. And so notice in the encounter that the same anger that was on her jumped on my friend. My friend responded. That can't happen. We have to be careful in everything that we say and do, and in our responses. God is always watching our response. He's going to move, or be able to move, or not be able to move based on our response to what goes on. We're going to always have and encounter trials. We're going to always encounter situations that try to knock us, or derail us, or stop, or block. And we have a responsibility to walk in his nature to overcome that, so that that thing will continue to be done regardless of what is coming against us. And notice that the conversation of the shower came up. Well, I'm going to go shower. And that's exactly what God is saying, that my friend needs to go and take a shower. She's going to have to wash from that. She's going to have to cleanse from that. And from the very thing that she hauled off to say to the spouse, or to the wife, yes, and clean that nasty attitude. That's exactly what God is saying to her. Go shower, so that this attitude that is so easy to spark up, just because of situation, just because of a circumstance, just because something didn't go your way, and that something being something that was of this, if I could say, magnitude, or of this type of offense. If you're going to be offended, then basically you're saying that you're not ready to do what all this project entails, which goes back to what her purpose and her destiny. And so God can use husbands in dreams to not show you, maybe say, a marital relationship is coming, or a marriage relationship is in effect, but the marriage relationship between him and us, or him and you, or him, God, and my friend. And so that was a very, very just profound dream, a very profound situation, to show us also how God will show us husbands, in order to show us where we're at, to show us our mindset, to show us our status, our condition, how willing we are, to show us our response. To show if God is really going to be able to use us. And so, anyway, I am so appreciative that you were able to view the video. I pray that this is beneficial to you and has helped you. Like I said, leave any comments. I'm also on Facebook. It's Dream and Vision Notebook. You can follow me there, where I leave pictures, and I leave just really good, great content that shows you maybe say a picture of something, and then what that symbolizes in the dream. So if you've ever seen those objects, or people, or situations in the dream, I also show you or share a detailed account of what that symbolized, what that could mean, and maybe say even some scriptures to back that up so that it will be a biblical interpretation. So, anyway, I appreciate you, and you have a great dream life. Hey, and keep writing in that notebook. Keep writing and filling that notebook up.